Okay, we have a bit of social history on the channel today. We'll get back to the kings and queens probably tomorrow because the heat in my house is killing me. I'm really dying here, and this is why the 1976 UK-wide heatwave. Now, 2018, as I've asterisked down here with other heatwaves, has been classed as a heatwave. The thing is, we've got to get through the rest of July and August yet, so there could be a secondary heatwave on this, and this could be record-breaking summer that could break some of these records. Anyway, Heathrow, biggest airport in the country, one of the biggest airports in the world, has a lot of meteorological equipment because it's an airport. It's a travel centre, so they have a lot of weather instruments to record weather temperatures, travel purposes. They had 16 days of 30 degrees or more, consecutive, between the 23rd of June and the 8th of July. And there were 5 of those days, 5 days during this heatwave, were over 35 degrees Celsius in this period. Southampton has the hottest June day on record, which I believe still stands, on the 28th of June of that year, 35.6 degrees Celsius. I don't think that June record will be broken. It hasn't been broken this year, but it may get broken in future years. However, the July one may yet go, or could have gone. I believe this was the peak temperature of that entire summer. Now, this record, as record temperature, has been broken, but for July, I don't think it has. But it peaked at 35.9 degrees Celsius, so 36 degrees, in Cheltenham. I do believe that record has now been broken. But at the time, that was a record-breaking temperature in this country. Not in Europe, but in this country. The southwest, where Cheltenham is technically part of the southwest by geographical region, because it's in Gloucestershire, so it's part of the West Country. Some parts of the southwest, such as Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, bits of Wiltshire, bits of Dorset, had no rain for 45 days that summer. 45 days of no rain. That's desert conditions. This led to an issue within Parliament. The government came up with the Drought Act of 1976, which is still law today. So if we have similar conditions of no rain, which we are getting close to in some parts of the country, standpipes and hosepipe bans may be a thing that we may see again in our lifetimes. Now, most people who watch YouTube are my age, sort of between the ages of 18 and 35. None of our age group, my age group, were alive at this time. This is 42 years ago. This Act of Parliament is still a thing that can be called upon should the weather get bad enough and severe enough, and I believe it could this summer. There's already a hosepipe ban in Northern Ireland. It's been in place for a couple of weeks. We could see a nationwide one brought in very quickly. Even though the temperatures are due to drop next week, there's still not much rain in the forecast. This is the problem. Because of this 45 days of no rain and the southwest being a very, very important agricultural region of the UK, so most of southern England is very important agriculturally for wheat and fruits and vegetables. £500 million worth of crops and livestock were lost due to this heatwave. Cows were underweight because there wasn't enough feed for them. And because the previous winter in 75 had been very dry as well, they'd used up a lot of their winter feed as well to keep the animals well fed. So cattle, sheep, goats, horses, pigs were also dying, and they were also lost. £500 million worth of livestock and crops were destroyed this summer. That's equivalent to several billion pounds today. I would say about £3 to £5 billion destroyed. Put a lot of farmers on a severe economic strain. The Drought Act was part of alleviating those farmers' concerns with compensation. Farmers had to be compensated for their losses. Now, that's the heatwave in a nutshell. It was collectively classed as the drought of 75 to 76. Now, by about September, October, heavy rains did come. A lot of thunderstorms came at the end of August, beginning of September, and that technically ended the drought conditions because we had a lot of rain. However, other heatwaves since, these are the official heatwaves according to the Met Office and the government, 95, 97, 2001, 2003, 2006, and this year. The 2003-2006 ones also were classed as European-wide heatwaves because every country classed those two as heatwaves, and they all classed them at the same time. These were very, very similar in intensity. People died. Deaths in summer went up by 50% in 2003, above averages. In 76, death rates went up by 20-odd%. Yeah, it happened. 2018's got an asterisk because this summer is still ongoing and we've still got August to get through yet. The hosepipe ban wasn't brought in until August. The damage had already been done. Some reservoirs did not recover with water levels until 2007. This heat wave and this drought had a massive effect on this country's water supply for 30 years. I wouldn't be surprised if this Drought Act is looked at again and amended, or the measures that were in that Drought Act, such as standpipes, hosepipe bans, and compensation for farmers and employers in general, because factories will have to shut down and offices may go, it's too hot to work. Very important piece of legislation. Now, people tend to knock our politicians, but my God, they got this through very quickly, and it probably saved some lives by rationing water, and it probably stopped us from running out of water completely. But you look at the heat waves we've had recently, there's been a trend. They seem to be every 2 to 3 years between 95 and 2006. In an 11-year period, we had 5 heat waves in 11 years. So when people in this country say, oh, it's a washout of summer, we're going to get a couple of good days of weather, obviously they haven't been paying attention for the last 23 years, because in 6 of those years, since 95, we've had 6 heat waves. And in an 11-year period, half the time was classed as heat wave in summer. I was abroad in Europe for both these heat waves, and I can tell you now, it was brutal, really brutal conditions. Really, really brutal conditions, especially 2003. I was in Tuscany on holiday, and it was a brutal, brutal summer out there. In fact, the whole of Europe was baking, and that is the summer in Paris. 500 people approximately died in a 24 to 48 hour period. Died of heat-related illnesses, heat exhaustion, and things like that. Severe dehydration, heart, overheating. That was a brutal summer. This Cheltenham record has been broken for the hottest day ever, but I do believe it's the hottest July day we've had. We've had some days in August that are up there as well. But that's how hot it got. And 45 days of no rain. Yeah, we're getting close to that in some areas of the country. We haven't had rain for nearly a month. I'm not sure that record will be broken, but we are getting close where some areas of the country have not seen a drop of rain for a while. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Drought Act is looked at again and standpipes and hosepipe bans are brought in. But anyway, thank you very much. I thought I would educate some young people who may not be aware of what, when their parents and grandparents mentioned the summer of '76, this is what it was. It was a drought, and it was a killer. 20% more people died that summer than the norm. And that was only bettered by these 2 heat waves across Europe, where the death rate went up 50% above normal rates for all age groups. So not only was it bloody hot, it killed a lot of people and destroyed a lot of farmers' businesses. £500 million worth of crops and livestock lost. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. I know this is not what I've not normally been covering, but it is a piece of social history. It's an important piece of social history. And I can look at the European heat waves in 2003 and 2006 tomorrow, if you want, and we can go through how bad these were. I think these top this, because this was Europe-wide. I believe 2018 will be classed as a European-wide heat wave, because some of the temperatures seen in Europe are really brutal as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.